shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all.
Hi, what's up guys, you're watching Wayfinder. My name is Rocky, and in today's topic I'm going to be answering a question that I got from a lot of young dudes out there, asking my opinion on whether they should get a degree, finish school, finish university, get even a master's degree, or go forwards into getting a doctorate degree. My short answer is yes, but this is what you gotta understand. And for you younger dudes out there, to make this as relatable as possible, I'm going to be using a video game analogy for you guys. Certificates, degrees, finishing school, getting that piece of paper, it's like you finishing the tutorial level, or the tutorials, the multiple tutorials that you go through in a video game. Video games, sometimes they give you one tutorial in the beginning and then they let you free. Some games, they give you multiple tutorials. And in life, we kind of have these multiple tutorials. You get to grade school, primary school, then secondary school, high school, and then you go forwards into university, and you can go beyond and get certificates and pile it up. But all you're doing is you're just completing the tutorial level, or tutorials. Tutorials, they let you progress through the game. And this game, it's like, the game of life is comparable to a video game because they're both designed by others. A video game is designed by the video game makers, such as the game of life is designed by, the governments and society, and goes way back. So in order to get through this game of life, you gotta go through the rules. If that's what you want, go through the rules established. You're not gonna be able to get a high-paying job or a skill-based job if you do not have the certificate to prove that you're capable for it, right? But here's the caveat. Tutorial levels, certificates, school, they let you progress through the game. They may even ensure that you finish the game, yes, but they do not ensure that you win at the game. What do I mean by this? Take, for example, a multiplayer-based game that you can play solo. For example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare, let's stick with that. You can play the story-based game alone. You can finish it, go through the tutorials, finish it. But then when you play multiplayer, you will see that those who played more hours will far outshine those who did not play you can play the full game, yes, but that doesn't mean that you're going to win against others in multiplayer mode, right? So this is what I want to say. Get a certificate, get a degree, because it is vital for you to level up in life, to progress through life in this narrative of the game of life. Because very rarely can you advance without these degrees or certificates. Very rarely. There are exceptions, of course, but majority of the people listening to this, majority of the people out there, we have to go through it. I'm no different. I had to go through this entire system as well. One of the biggest reasons being is that these certificates, this degree, can be a very good fallback option. What I mean, like if you're pursuing, like you have a passion project that you're working on, or if you have a side hustle that you want to make your main hustle, having a degree, having a certificate in the background, having that is a good fallback option, just in case your passion project does not work out, or if you want to in the beginning fund the equipment or fund the necessary capital that you want to invest into your passion project. Where are you going to get the money? You got to have a job somehow. And sometimes the best way to get a job is using your degree to go through the daily life of having a job, and then you can use the money that you earn and reinvest that into your side project, into your passion project, with which it can launch forward. So use the degree, but do not depend on it. Depend on yourself. Shout out to Jack Fernley. I did a podcast with him. The link is in the description down below. Jack Fernley, when we were discussing, he was talking about he was going to film school. And frankly, he's bored at film school because they're teaching him, like right now, at least back then, they were teaching in the lessons, they were talking about video editing software. And Jack told me that he already knew how to use this video editing software. So sometimes you just gotta go through the motions to get the certificate. You may know the skill, you may have the skill already, but just because you don't have it on a piece of paper, the society does not acknowledge that you have it. How are you going to prove? Or you go to the interview, you're going to bring your laptop and you're going to say like, oh, I can use the video editing software. Look at what I did. You can do that. But in most cases, because you submit your CV online, the bots will take you out because they do not see any degree whatsoever. So if you have the balls to actually go through the human resources in person to actually demonstrate that you have it, which is rarely the case, and nobody's gonna give you the time of day for most guys. You just have to have that piece of paper, even if you know about it. And above all, you have to understand yourself. What are your strengths? And what is your play style? Kind of like a video game. Like in video games, like there's this thing called a skill tree. Let me use Far Cry, for example. If you like to play the game on stealth mode, you like to be stealthy, you're gonna clearly upgrade the skills on the tree that make that type of play style better, or upgrade that type of playstyle. If you want to go guns blazing all the time, you're gonna improve your health, you're gonna improve your damage of the machine gun. Don't look at other people. Other people have skills. We're all different at the end of the day. This guy may be doing well there. If you try to do well there and you're an introvert and that dude is an extrovert, you don't have to be surprised if you fail, or if you don't feel that you quite fit into that role. You gotta stick to your lane, my friend. Using this analogy from the video game Monster Hunter. Many of you guys know Monster Hunter. And basically, for those of you who don't know, it's a game where you hunt monsters. And in this game, you have different weapons. You can choose and master, specialize in different weapons. Like you can choose a greatsword to take on the beast. You can use a dual blade, or a horn, or a longbow, or a gun to take on the same monsters. Different people have different play styles, and different people prefer different weapons. Just like many of us, to conquer the game of life, we have different ways, and we have different weapons, different industries that we can get into based on our skills. Some people, they like sales. Some people, they like R&D. Some people, they like the technology, IT, whatever. So you choose your weapon with which you conquer life. This is why you gotta try it out first. You get your degree and then you try it out. Or sometimes it's best to know what you're good at before you even pursue the degree, so you don't waste time. And then you get the degree. But even if you do get the degree, try it out first. Try out the weapon of your choice. Because in the end, you may realize you don't like the degree, or you don't like the industry that you're working in. So just like Monster Hunter, people are not fixed to one weapon. They can go choose another weapon. But you gotta understand, that when you do switch to a different weapon or a different industry, you gotta start out from square one, my friend. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. But if you want to go further and get your master's degree or doctorate degree, you can do it, yes, if it is the right fit for you. If you do believe that it's going to get you farther in life faster, do that. And some people, they finish the degree and then they go forwards into getting the master's degree without actually getting out there into the real world. Sometimes that's not in your best interest. Why? Because as I said, you got to try out the field first. You got to try out the industry. Here you are stuck in your theoretical mode, thinking that you're going to be good for it, optimistic, which is good. But you have to be also realistic. Sometimes you gotta try it out first, test the waters, and then understand if the industry is right for you or not. The earlier you don't like it, the earlier you can change. But if you do like it, the standard advice is, do have that career experience first, get a few years under your belt before pursuing the postgraduate certificate or the master's degree. Because once you have the experience, you already have more context and material in your head, practical material with which to use and to apply. When you do have the lessons while pursuing the master's degree, the lessons become a bit more colorful and it's more advantageous for you. Because at the end of the day, like with the video game, it doesn't make sense to go from tutorial to tutorial to tutorial. It's kind of stupid, right? You go from tutorial, finish the tutorial, you want to do another tutorial? No, you want to get your hands dirty. You want to go to tutorial, like many of you are like, oh fuck, it's a tutorial, here we go again. No, you tutorial, and then you get out there. You complete the side missions, you complete the main objectives. It's like life. Nobody wants to play a video game where you only do the main plot, the main storylines. It's like, yeah, you're like, oh, that's a nice video game, but you did not live life fully. So to do the side objectives, sometimes you do gotta level up in other areas outside of the school. And this is the funny thing, because it's like in the video game, sometimes you see those guys that they complete all the side quests, they leveled up, they have all the best gear, and then when they go back to the main storyline, the supposedly the hardest boss is super easy, just like in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare. How are you gonna outshine the other players if all of you played the same main storyline? You gotta go beyond the main storyline, you gotta practice outside, you gotta do the multiplayer, you gotta get your hands dirty playing with other players, doing the side objectives, doing the side missions, doing the side bosses, and then when you go back to your main storyline, you clearly outshine all the other players who just did the bare minimum. This is where being truly passionate in your industry, in your weapon of choice, being truly passionate in the weapon that you wield, in who you are, the value that you want to give to the world, the passion will show in the hours that you put in. Because someone who just wants to do the bare minimum is clearly not passionate, clearly doesn't have fun in the game that he's playing. So you have fun, be passionate, do the bare minimum plus more, and you're gonna get much farther in life. That's how you're gonna win.